All right, let's talk about something a lot of people go through, but almost nobody ever mentions. We're going to get real about the hidden anxiety of using public restrooms. It's a sensitive topic for sure, but it's so important because it affects millions of people, and they're usually dealing with it in total silence. So let me just ask you straight up. Have you ever felt that tightness in your chest or that knot in your stomach when you need to use a bathroom at work, a friend's house, or just out in public somewhere? You know that feeling when you really have to go, but your body just won't cooperate?
Well, if any of that sounds even a little familiar, you are so far from alone. Get this, up to 32% of people experience this exact kind of anxiety. That's almost 1 out of every 3 people. So this isn't some weird quirk, it's an incredibly common human experience.
So yeah, that brings us to our first section. We're going to put a name to this surprisingly common anxiety and talk about how it can actually start to run a person's life. First off, you should know this actually has a clinical name. It's called Parcopresis. You might have also heard it called shy bowel, which is a little more straightforward. But what it is, really, is a type of social phobia. See, the anxiety isn't actually about the toilet or the bathroom itself. It's about the fear of other people being around. And this phobia can have a huge domino effect on your life. People start saying no to social events. They get stressed out about holidays or travel. It can even mess with a normal day at the office. Basically, if you can't be sure there's a safe private bathroom, any activity can become a source of major stress. Your world can start to get a whole lot smaller. So, how does this anxiety get so powerful? Well, that brings us to what I like to call the mind-body fear loop. Let's break down the mechanics of why this cycle is so darn hard to break on your own. At its absolute core, parcopresis is a fear of being judged. It's that nagging worry that other people might hear you or smell something or just know what you're doing in there and that they'll think less of you for it. It's feeling incredibly vulnerable in a place that's supposed to be private but isn't. And this is the vicious cycle that keeps it going. It all starts with number one, that fear of judgment. That mental fear triggers your body's fight or flight response, which leads right to number two. Your muscles, especially down there, tense up. And of course, when everything is tight and tense, that makes it physically harder to go. That's step three. And then, because it was so difficult, that just reinforces the original fear, making you even more anxious next time. It's a classic self-fulfilling prophecy. And, while this affects everybody, some research points to an extra layer of social pressure, especially for women. As this quote here suggests, women might be more likely to feel this unique kind of shame, worrying that a totally natural bodily function could somehow damage their relationships with people. Now, this isn't just a mental health thing. It has very real and sometimes very serious physical consequences. So let's talk about the dangers that come from constantly telling your body not now when it's telling you it's time to go. It's a pretty direct link. When you repeatedly ignore your body's signals because of anxiety, you're pretty much training your digestive system to slow down. And the most immediate, most common result of that is constipation. And constipation isn't just about how often you go. The experts are clear on the symptoms. We're talking about stool that's hard or lumpy, pain when you're trying to pass it, and even that lingering feeling that you're not quite finished. Plus, stomach pain and just feeling sick in general. It's no fun. And when constipation becomes chronic, a long-term problem, the risks really go up. It can lead to something called fecal impaction, which is a serious medical issue. And while it's not common, if it's left untreated, it can lead to some really severe complications. It just goes to show you that what starts as an anxious thought can, over time, become a physically dangerous problem. Okay, after all that heavy stuff, here is the most important message I want you to hear. There is hope. This is a treatable condition. So let's switch gears and talk about the pathways to relief and how you can start to get your life back. So the two main medical routes for treatment are therapy and medication. On one side, you have cognitive behavior therapy, or CBT. It's a super effective type of talk therapy that helps you identify those anxious thoughts and challenge them. On the other side, you have medications like SSRIs, which can help manage the underlying anxiety and just make all that therapy work a little easier. And hey, besides professional treatment, there are simple things you can do to help your body out. I mean, this is stuff we should all be doing anyway, right? Drinking plenty of water, getting enough fiber, moving your body regularly, and also trying to get on a schedule. Going at the same time each day in a place you feel safe can really help your body get into a healthy rhythm. So, here is the bottom line. Shame is a huge part of this condition. It's the thing that keeps people from ever talking about it or getting help. But please, hear me on this. This is a recognized, treatable anxiety. You do not have to figure this out alone, and you definitely don't have to let it control your life. And so I'll just leave you with this one last question to think about. Just for a second, imagine that fear was gone. Poof. What trips would you finally take? What parties would you say yes to? What kind of freedom would you feel? Just thinking about that, that might be the very first step toward making it your reality.